see this.
Yeah, this right now. So this game, we're on a 6-game loss streak in threes, but I feel like all the games we're losing are like barely. And you can kind of coach anybody's POV here, like me, Jakey, Ark, who, like whatever you see wrong, because like we'll all take into consideration what's going on. Bad touch.
It's fine, I guess. No, you can't go up. It's a crazy dive, honestly. But it worked. Okay.
What if Ark's not back though? Like if Ark's not covering mid, who's gonna go for that ball?
I would have preferred that.
My touch was not.
This is weird because it's not a one-size-shoe-fits-all. Because if this ball goes anywhere remotely behind Jakey, then obviously cutting him is fine. But I also feel like if I go and I say something about this and I'm like, hey, it should be Jakey that goes for it, then it might actually inadvertently cause some confusion when you do need to cut and go for these.
So what are you seeing that makes you think it's Jakey's? Because like that reset does go a little bit behind him.
It does. That's what I'm saying. Is like I prefer like I'm very structured in the sense that when I play soccer, for example, you play a zone. I play a zone, right? And then I mark a man when he comes in, and then when he leaves, you drop. You drop. And you let another defender or attacker mark him, right?
Okay.
That's how I do it. So my soccer brain kicks in where it's like I'm divided the field in half. You're the release in case Jakey's in a bad spot, which is why I'm not opposed to you cutting. It's just like, and again, that's why I feel like if I even remotely say anything about it, it's just like there are times when it's appropriate to do that. It's just in my soccer brain, it's very much like it's his. It's his. This flip reset is low. He's not going to get anything crazy on it. I would pretty much like trust Jakey to go for it unless he calls for a release.
He did call me. He called me. He said personal. Can you cut?
Okay.
Because what I've been so the way that they scrim, usually when I'm coaching them is like I'm saying that we're looking for the cut more often than not. Like I personally think that the cuts help a lot more than having him go there, because I feel like my angle is more into the corner versus if Jakey takes a bad 50, it's a little bit harder for me to recover.
Yeah. Yeah. And on the now here's the problem with that though. When you take this into an offensive stance and you take cutting a lot, there's advantages to that, in that if it goes behind your second man, you're able to cover it. But if you use that as a baseline, then you're not going to have an outlet for your second man when he does get good possession.
Well, that's where we kind of like every now and then obviously it's situational. I guess this one you're kind of saying is like nuance, because it's like it doesn't.
This is a bad example, but.
And another thing is, it's like Tricky obviously is pretty mechanical, and like he could have, in my opinion, got a pop that was hard for Jakey to be able to save, or he could have popped it into like an air dribble bump. Because I like that's a common thing to do in ones. I just didn't want Jakey to have to like make that save on the goal line. That's the only reason I cut there.
That's why I was almost like.
And I think Jakey had to cut there too, because my touch was horse shit. Like I should have got a better touch.
The other thing is though, is sometimes your second can run on. Now, it's his job that if it does... what his job is to do is to take this line that's here and to kind of get this approach in as much as possible. And if it forces you over, then you have the release there.
Correct.
That's the job there. And the reason why you want to preserve his position as much as you can is because you want him to take the ball and you to be here and to be able to play out or play back if necessary.
Right.
And that really depends also on the first man, on what he's going to do on this behavior too, because obviously if he's coming to the side here, you're not going to mark the same position he's in.
Right.
So then you'd come back, right? But if he does an inside rotation and he opts to go and essentially go and mark this position, then that means you could mark the out and he comes here, and then Jakey takes the ball, and then you could, no matter what, you complete the triangle.
Right, because it's like the whole premise that we have is like the second, like the way that I understand it is, you never want your second man to have a contested touch on his own goal line. That's kind of how I've thought that. Like the way that it makes sense is I always try to make it, especially whenever like they do scrims against like really high ranked teams. I'm always like, no matter what happens, our second man should have the ball for free almost every time, or at least an uncontested save. Like if he has to make a save, it should be uncontested. That's like that third man cutting is just kind of like because it's always the way that I have them rotate is to where the third man always has an angle into the corner. So every time he does get a touch, it's going to be a safe touch. If that makes sense. But this AB thing makes sense.
Yeah. I don't know if this honestly this AB here makes sense, but the way that I'm trying to
It
draw
does.
this
It
is
does. It does.
yeah, is he comes here and then you go here.
Is AB
If
like
he-
level
if
of
he goes
importance?
here,
Like
then
A
he
is
goes
look
here.
number 1. Like A look is okay.
You see that?
So if third man A, then second man A. If third man B, then second man B.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay.
Screenshot it.
That's a hold up. I'm gonna screenshot it. Yeah,
That's a
give
god
me a
one,
second.
bro.
This is
The
this
fact
is
that it came off the dome, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, this is like Jakey's been glazing the gates thing that you taught him. Do you remember like the second man gate thing?
Mm-hmm. And the reason why that gate thing is a precursor to this whole idea is that when you go and you are able to approach this ball, there's going to be times where you're on the offensive half, and if he cuts like this, if this guy right here, if he has to cut, you're not going to have a passing option in the midfield, so you can't force it behind. So then you're just forcing, if the ball's in the corner right here, you're just forcing a front post shot with no angle, and that's very hard to do. Versus if I'm able to release it here in the midfield and give this guy a better shot. That's it. That's if you're shooting. You got it right.
Yeah. This is making sense. But
Right,
this
wait, send me
situation
that.
in particular
Send me
is
that
pretty ass. Send you that
Yeah,
screenshot.
Yeah. Just DM it to me.
Yeah, gotcha. That is some tech right there. I can't lie. That is some
Mhm.
tech. I was about to say because it's like every situation I seem to be in now is kind of nuanced. So it's like, fuck. How do I get better? How do I get better from here?
And it's very small optimizations at that point once you understand the micro, and that translates into wild shit in the micro. Like for example, like taking this on
I need to get a better touch. I got
getting the touch in. It's like it kind of doesn't matter what you do as far as the inaccuracy of it. All that matters is that it's really, really deep in the corner. And if he has to come around like this in order to get this is a pretty comfortable position to be in. The fact that you got a demo is really, really nice. But I would say even if you don't get the demo, the reason why it's risky for Jakey to go is because this guy is shooting.
Force the mid and arc is
Arc is there
awkward.
to cover the back post. He's covering the high. He's also covering the mid. So he's covering all that. And then Jakey's covering the near post on the gate. So that's why I said the early dive is kind of crazy because you actually ironically leave the net open. Because if you early dive this, right? If you early dive, then that just tells me, okay, I'm just going to pass it mid. And then I just test this guy and I force it wide. And then from there, because I forced it wide, that's still a win for me because now I get possession again. And now he's awkward and now he's out of the play. And now when I put it mid, now it's a dangerous threat. It's not going to happen here where it's danger, but now when I put it mid again,
it's like 2 or 3 moves ahead.
Yeah, it's exactly 2 or 3 moves ahead. And then because you have to clear it here, and whoever's the mark coming in second man after this Nico guy, after he say he doesn't get demoed, right? Whoever comes in and marks this is going to have basically a possession to be able to do something with it. And now he gets a flip reset. He forces this guy off, and then this guy is probably dead in the water. Whoever's rotating in, which would have been you rotating in, because now you're in a few. Yeah, you're in 1v1 and you get bumped, and this is where those professional plays come out. Which you see.
So what? So if you're Jakey here, what do? Do you just wait for the shot to come in?
Wait. Yeah, I mean, if it's high and it's in the corner like this, I mean, you have the option to either play the low like this or to play the high. If you want to play the high, that's fine because you're playing here, but that means you're also giving up the low and you're trusting Arc to go and cover that. So in
just kind of play the shot. Just play shot.
In a tournament, I would probably play the high and just trust my teammate. Unless.
And that's what we usually do. We teach our second man to go to the backboard and have the third force him high every time. That's kind of how we train him.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that's kind of like everybody has the habit of that except for KJ because KJ's a bot, but we'll get him there.
So that's why this guy, first of all, being on low boost is weird. Second of all, there's really no threat because it's a very, very shallow angle shot. And you have a lot of time that if he does shoot it, you're going to be able to save it. And on second, even if he does try to put it mid, you're going to have Arc that's being able to cover that. This is why this dive is a bit monkey. That's why I was like, whoa, that was a bit crazy.
Okay, so just wait for the shot instead of trying to cover the space.
Yeah. I mean, again, like the kill zone that you're worried about is this. This is the kill zone. Is basically any shots that come in like right in the outside of this. But I mean, even outside of this, we could call it the 24-yard box, like in soccer. Even outside of this, right? This is the kill zone.
18.
Anything that's 18. Thank you. Anything that's outside of this, right, is anything that's right here is a little dangerous. But if it's in the corner, outside of it, I mean, it's still
like a
a
5-degree
little
angle,
awkward, but it's okay. Like you'll be able to. Yeah.
It's a ridiculous angle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
That makes sense.
All right, we'll keep going. Nuances within defense here. I respect the pad play. I like the cut. That's very nice.
I'm telling you, I got him good. I got him good. I'm telling you.
That's good. Force it across. This should be a punish. Nope.
Ooh.
What happened?
Oh, he's playing passive. Playing passive.
I gotta be a pain in the ass here. This is like Arc. Where's Arc?
He's not here. He's not
He's on
here.
a potato.
I
He's
can
gone a potato
get
a
him.
million times, but
Wait, hold up. I'll DM him real quick. I'll tell him, be like, get your ass in here.
this is good. And that's fine.
Okay.
What happened here? Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. Oh my god, that's bad. Timing is such a big fucking deal. I can't tell you. This is a thing where you really do gotta play against like high level teams in order to realize that like these kinds of movements where you cut in and you make this error and you invest all the remaining boost you have, you get it feels like when you play against good teams where they actually trade their positions right, that what you just did creates the biggest fucking hole on the goddamn planet. It feels so awkward and you're like, wow, I can't do that. I can't yell at you enough other than to tell you that you just got to get your ass beat a few times when you do this.
Yeah, we started trying to get rank B scrims because I'm trying to like, honestly, I've been scrimming in KJ's place every now and then. Just whenever, just to like get reps against better teams.
Yeah, and you're wasting way too much boost is the big deal here. You know, you really got to be more conservative. Like right here, I think using a little bit is fine, but you went like 20 extra on the use. So you got the demo, which is still good. You know, but right here, even the feather right after that point, right there is.
So I just need to be way more greedy. I just need to be way more greedy.
And then from there, you're flipping out, and the flipping out. What you really need to realize is, dude, this is so tight. This rotation is tight. If you flip, you need to be like as tight as you can right here, and then you're making a decision to cut in or come out or go into the center of the net to cover second like this, or you're cutting in here, or you're going wide if it's like super high, basically, and that gives you ample space to go and cut midfield. That's when it's okay to go back post. You pushing like this, you overshoot it a little bit. This timing gets a little bit weird. Now you're super low boost. Then you make a fake cut, and then you invest all 12 that you have, and then you waste it, and then you come back around, and then you're like, fuck, well, now my gate is broken. My gate's fucked up, because normally what would you want to do is you want to be on this break point. Now your break point is fucked, so then you can't get a good entry into the position. So then you leave it, then you leave the position, then you go out, you grab the boost, you're lucky Jakey had a good 50, and then you come in, and then our arc goes and scraps it, and then you're there. That to me is like, it's too many coin flips. You made a coin flip here, you made a coin flip here and missing the gate, then you went to the full boost. It was like, oh my lord, dude. Oh my lord. You gotta relax when you get your position. It's just like, you know, you just chill, dude. Like you got the cut. Don't waste it. You know, you got the demo. You went crazy. You monkey brain. Fuck it. Don't fucking boost anymore. At this point, you're all conservation. You come here, you land, you get a little wave dash. You don't wave dash flip because then that'll fuck up your pathing. You just get a little wave dash going on, right? If you want to land, and then you're here like this, and you're looking break point, right? And then from here, now you're looking. Now you could come wide like this, and now you're coming like this, and you see arc is a little weird. You come in like this. Now you're waiting. Now you come in like this, and now you're on. And then Jakey doesn't have to cut you, because what happens is if Jakey has to cut this and he has a really bad angle, it goes square. Second man is activated. This guy fucked up.
Yeah, he's.
It's a free shot.
Yeah.
And this timing right here got a little nasty. Because look, by the time this shot could come in, this bottom right's open.
Yeah.
Let me see. Is it as bad as I think it is? Yeah, he's backwards. Ooh, that should be a shot here. He should be able to play it around you, though. I don't know if he could get a shot on you, but he should be able to play it around you. And that's a loss.
Yeah.
It should be a dead even 50. So that's how it should have been. It should be. This is like the stuff where you're like, I don't know what I'm messing up on. It's like shit like this. It's like first of all, you did your wave dash. You got the demo fine. I would say don't greed the demo because you never realistically should be fucking getting a demo there. Honestly, I mean, I would never expect myself to get a fucking demo at that point. But this, so
I mean, I just didn't want him to go for the ball. I tried to like force him wide, and I saw him flip, so I knew he would land on the wall with less momentum than I had driving up.
Yeah, I mean that's fine. All right, and again, I'm not gonna argue nuance on that point, but I will say right here, you're boosting here, right?
Right.
And then you I think you could have. after this, I know we're on the first 10 seconds. It's been like, what, 15 minutes, but there's already like 10,000 errors. So you get the demo, you come around, you jump off, you wave dash, or you just land, flip here. Now you're looking, and now you're at the break point. Now it's the break point of cut here or go, right? And right around this frame, what I'm looking for is when I'm looking right here, when I'm looking here is I could see if there's a guy in the wall. Again, I'm not really concerned. I'm just more worried about, like, the net's covered. I want to segment the net in half. Right, so I would come right like this, and then like Ark would be covering this side of the net, and then I would be covering this side of the net, and I'm not worried if this guy wants to shoot it. If it's deep on the wall, like you'll be plenty fine. You'll be plenty fine. And so that's a big deal, and that conserves your boost. It's going to fix your pathing. It's going to allow you to be in a better position for Ark to support him, rather than you wasting your boost, leaving the position, and then your timing is all fuck, and you create a break. You create a break here, which is essentially there's space open that if Nikoi didn't donut, if he didn't donut right here and he was marking his space right here, this would have been really tough. Let's actually move forward though. So we got him going. Don't cross the field. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. Looking for Ark. Unlucky. Don't stop wasting your boost in the out. I know. Yeah, and that's okay. We could flub those all day. Again, don't waste your boost on the out. Mini break here. That's fine. Okay. The look is fine, but he was up early. His angle's terrible.
Yeah, he's not hitting it anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, he's hitting it back into your second man, which is back into Ark, which is actually what we want. So that was fine. Okay, then you forced your rotation. You rotated inside when you should have been. Like, I mean, you could see it. Like, where's Jakey? Where's Ark?
Right.
Okay.
He's rotating.
Okay, I know that Jakey's low boost, and I know that you're like, okay, I'm trying to like scrap this situation to Jakey's second to Ark. You're going to be third.
Okay.
That's it.
I mean, that makes sense. That makes sense because he's deeper than I am, and I have more boosts.
Yeah, I mean, you're the 1 to 3 here. You know, so then you came in, you cut midfield like this. You didn't even cut the ball. You went for full boost. So of course Jakey gets beat, and then you pass at midfield. Like, dude, like I would be forming you if this were the other team. I would have somebody that would be at a decent structure that would be across. As soon as anybody hits it across, it gets contested. End of story. It gets contested no matter what you do. You play at higher levels, you get fucking annihilated, dude. You come around like this, you waste a possession, throw it back midfield, you get fucked. You get fucked, dude. I can't tell you how many times I played against Jay Wismont or Lion Blaze, and they were doing that. They were just all the time. They're keeping in the corner, and then the one time that I had a bad position, I came out early on the wall like this. Maybe the ball was on this side. I came out early on the wall, but then I'm coming out across, and then I couldn't get it high enough on the cross. A guy from here on the left, on my left, right? The viewer left. On this side of the field, when I go and hits a cross, gets a free shot, my teammates are like, oh, fuck. And we know we're just going to get scored on there, and there's nothing we could do. It's like, dude, under any circumstances, you can't be allowing this to just freebie, just hit it across like this. Like, this is just, that should be a free goal, like, most of the time. I mean, that should never happen right there. Okay, now it's really awkward. Okay, we're able to get it out. All right, left. Just chill. It's clumsy. Here, look. You were fine on the pad. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this area was.
That could have been a shot. Top left.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, your arrow went everywhere. Okay, so he's cutting close. Yep, he covers high. The second man dove because he ran a layer. Then he did a donut. Look at this guy. This is tricky. Look at this shit. Yeah, and his aerial is terrible. Okay, actually. He went on the wall for some reason. The 1 to 3 cut came in, and then he was fucked. Disorganized. It's so bad. Okay, you're chilling. This is good. Yeah, that's unlucky. Oh, what a dive. Very, very nice, Ark. Holy shit.
He scored that too.
Nah. Oh, no. Counter the fast break. How about that? All right. So this is, like, look, dude, I saw TSM do shit like this, bro. They played their aggressive second on a bad 50 from the 1.
Mm-hmm.
They get destroyed like this, and it was Jane Epps on the sideline. I can literally memorize it like almost in my brain. I could probably show those replays now because they're very old. I think they're like a year old at this point. But it was almost this exact same position. I talked about this with Adam as well.
Oh,
So he
it's
comes
Hazel
across
playing up right here. Yeah.
right here,
And
you
now he's
see-
backwards.
Wow.
And
Okay,
again, this
yeah.
is like, Hazel
Okay.
didn't dive here, which is totally fine because Zanil's still like kind of covered a lot of this. But I told Adam to not panic basically on cutting in too much, which is right here because he needs to be goal side. He can't be here, and I don't want him
Right.
ever hitting it across. I want him hitting it into corner and then playing out. Because if you hit it into cross, you're going to be tackling into the midfield. Where if you hit it into here and you play it across, you're going to be tackling here. In this area right here on this along this wall, maybe a little bit higher, and that's totally fine from a defensive point. But when you're playing on defense and you're tackling into the midfield here, there's a lot more variability that comes in. It's actually a big positive for offense unless you're able to get a really good carry out. So this is more Adam's POV here. So I can't. There was another example that I had. I guess I don't have it correctly labeled. The same kind of idea applies. Where I was talking to what's his face about this, and I spoke about this with TSM and Adam. It seems to be like a common ongoing thing where second man tries to play super offensive, and they get beat because of a bad first man tackle, like something like this, where you get something crazy happen where like Jakey goes and takes it, and it just like hits right back into the guy and it gets possession again, and next thing you know you're like, oh fuck, right? So if you get a bad losing first man tackle, those are positions where it's just like it's really hard to what you don't want to do is not dive. What you don't want to do is dive for it, because then from there what's going to happen is they're just going to beat you, and then Ark's going to be in a spot where he's on a complete 1v1 and he has a 1v2 this and then hit that. Now it's completely lucky that he actually scored here. That's fucking wild, honestly.
Yeah.
It really is. But I mean, this is the kind of like mental, like it's a big fucking heart attack he's in a 2v1. So you want to avoid that. So, this is why, like, in a sense, playing midfield is actually more defensive in a way, because this is
don't
really
go to the
offensive.
sideline? So don't go to the sideline?
Well, I mean, it really depends. I mean, what you don't want to do is go sideline on offense. And this is part of that variability that comes in that I talk about, is if you pop into the sideline and you have a first man losing, it's like now your position's not activated. If you have a first man winning, you're going to have an activated position, because then your first man wins it goes back into here, and then this guy clears it back into you, and that's what you want.
Right.
You guys have that little like 1v1 handshake. So
Okay, so basically, if first man's losing, you want to play more to the midfield because it's defensive, and given the fact that Ark's rotating like into their corner, I need to play a little bit more for time. So playing mid here makes more sense.
I
that
don't
basically what you're saying?
again, this is kind of a read. I think you could have gone either or. I think the big mistake that you did here was dive.
Okay.
I think right here, if
Is
he
this
does
all-
have full possession, I would expect Jakey to be beat. And the reason why I actually say to go midfield here is because if he does win it, you can close it down on the shadow, which is the common theme that we
So-
had from our last session, if you remember.
Well, in twos, like it has everything to do with like the angular advantage that he has like over Jakey, pretty much. Like how much of an angle he has. To
No,
take at
angular
midfield. Is that why
advantage
I'm covering
is
mid?
this. Angular advantage is he able to play it out and throw a shot? Because angular advantage for a guy that would be here would be he's able to get it over Jakey and then immediately start to press your position to play it behind you.
Yeah, but I'm saying is that why I'm supposed to be mid here? Because if I play to the sideline and Jakey gets beat, now I give him the midfield, and I don't want to do that. Because then I would have to hit it across my net.
I
if
would
were to
say
take, like, a 50 or something,
play sideline when you know it's gonna pop in here like this.
Okay.
Now we kind of have an idea, but I would expect him to get beat. Not for the idea that we see the full boost because that's a spectator thing, but for the idea that like this guy's got a ball on top of his car, Jakey's late. If he has a ball on his car, expect him to get beat.
Okay.
That's my general thing. If the ball is like out and he can't get it on top of his car, that's gonna be a 50. Okay. So that's how I play it. So the way that you would have played it was your approach rather would have been not wide here, which is offensive, but defensive, and then I would have come in like this, right? Like this, hung out here, right? And then here, like you can abort mission. Now is shadow.
Okay.
And
So
then you
just
wait
buy
for
time
your-
until Ark.
Until
get
Ark
back.
can recover, yeah.
Okay. And then would I go first, or would I let Ark cut for me?
I would say
I'm-
Ark goes, honestly. Ark goes here, releases, and then you go and you play it around.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, because I would never turn and face this way because this is like telegraphing.
Yeah,
You're
just
throwing a haymaker
basically-
punch
yeah.
here that's just easy to just duck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So arc on the half turn here has the good position that he can just kind of bait and then turn if he wants, and that's the art of the shadow there. So
Okay, that makes sense.
that's what you want. You don't want to turn and face. You want to be in a half turn and then face, and that's the way different scenario. So I would say arc goes at that point. You release, but you don't want them to have basically a fast break here. Okay, so that's honestly that's a common theme throughout multiple different teams, whether professional or semi-pro, that I've talked about, and not be going too crazy with their second man dives, because
Okay, so it
accidents
doesn't
do
really
happen
matter
with your first
whether-
man.
So it doesn't matter whether your first man is winning or losing. You're still basically gonna hold the space a second and just kind of like wait and see what happens. Because the ball's gonna come to you either way. Is that because from what you said, right? If it's a winning first man, you're waiting for them to play it back into you. But if it's losing, then you're gonna end up shadowing and letting your third cut for you anyway.
Unless you can dive
Unless-
for it, then yeah.
Right. Unless you can, like if he gets like a super shit touch.
Right. Like if you could have been able to hit that, then I
Before
would say go
Nikoi had
for
it on top
But
of his
other
car.
than that, if it looks like he
Yeah.
has a really bad position, don't force
So
it,
it's like
bro.
90% of the time. 90% of the time, I'm just gonna be waiting unless they like mechanically suck.
Mm-hmm. So this is why teams like it's why like again the whole like layer business is really weird to me because it forces Arc to be in a 1v1 with a guy on the sideline, and
Yeah.
then basically if you were to play that super aggressive second, you would have been out of the play. So you would have been out of the play. So if you played like a super aggressive second, like what they do, which they call stacking, I've heard. I've heard this to be stacking. Actually, I had somebody in my YouTube comments talk about how there's a coach in RL Labs who actually coaches this. And it's funny to me because I feel like for somebody of his level, it's like he's internalized the game in his thumbs. Like he just knows what to do and know how to read, but he's not actually consciously doing what he's coaching.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's what KJ does because KJ will tell you to do something, but it's like a lot of the times KJ's able to do something that you're not able to do.
Right. There's
So
a
it's like a lot of the
cognitive
things
dissonance.
he plays. Yes, a lot
Yes.
of the things he's telling you to play for it doesn't make sense to me because I can't do what he wants me to do.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah, there's
like,
a
it doesn't really
dissonance
make
between
sense.
what he wants you to do versus what's actually realistic. And
Right.
I've tried, no matter what I do, whenever I coach something, whenever I refine these to basically kind of bring that
Make it
together and
objective,
have no
to
dissonance.
make it objective.
Right. Yeah, because and so what I don't want you to do is play like here, like this, and play like a super stacking like this.
Right.
You know, and super stack and then point out, and then
then
arc is
layer.
really bad, and then right here
Yeah,
now
then-
you're both on your back foot. You know,
And then just a layer.
it's just weird. Yeah, it's just weird because a lot of players that are lower level, they'll come around, and this guy will get beat entirely, and this guy has free space on the sideline, and now this guy's behind the play, and this guy has a free 1v1 essentially against this guy, and all this guy
Right.
has to do is come around, come to the opposite field, flick it over his buddy, and then score.
All right. I gotta
know.
go and drop my sister off, but I'll be back in like 25 minutes.
Boo.
All right,
Give me time.